What's up, beautiful people? Another day, another study in honor of the FDA doing the right thing and reversing course on the black box warning for menopausal hormonal therapy. We've got a study here talking about menopausal women. In fact, insomnia in menopausal women is the most at risk group for sleeping issues. And we know that chronic sleep deprivation is associated with adverse mental and physical health outcomes, and there is evidence from previous studies saying that dietary patterns may be associated with changes in sleep and even some individual nutrients in foods. However, in nutrition research, it's better to look at overall dietary patterns because people don't eat foods in isolation. And there's a lot of plausible mechanisms for why diet may impact our sleep, including things like fiber intake, which has been shown to have beneficial sleep outcomes, intake of melatonin and melatonin precursors, probably why things like tart cherry juice are associated with better sleep, polyphenols from fruits and vegetables, and then modulation of the gut microbiota. And back to polyphenols, there's some evidence that polyphenols change the way GABA, one of the neurotransmitters, interacts with the brain. This study examined the association of the DASH diet, which is a dietary pattern you see a lot in literature, most specifically for cardiovascular disease, and then a modified Mediterranean diet on the incidence of insomnia in postmenopausal women. And so looking at baseline, those who had a higher adherence to either the DASH or aMed diet did have a lower risk of developing insomnia over the 3-year follow-up. It was 7.5% for DASH and 6.3% for the Mediterranean diet. And then if you did the longitudinal analysis, and this is looking at the persistence of insomnia over that 3-year period, there was a lower risk for insomnia persistence with the DASH and the aMed diets as well. And when they looked at specific food factors, the biggest one that they showed an association was actually nuts and legumes, with a 5.7% lower odds of developing insomnia with higher intake of nuts and legumes. So overall, this is adding to the body of literature showing the dietary patterns, what we eat, has an association with sleep, and therefore changing our overall dietary pattern can have beneficial outcomes in sleep. And we know it has beneficial outcomes in other conditions like cardiovascular disease and other metabolic conditions like diabetes.